What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going back to a bit of paint work. This hood scoop we sprayed out for the STI is absolutely disgusting. Not exactly sure what happened to it, but we're going to be respraying that. And we do have a few aftermarket parts that we picked up for this car as well to paint. Bam, bam, bam. So this is a 04-05 style STI hood scoop, 4-inch height, and it is made to fit a Hawkeye. These things look so dope. I ran one on my old Hawkeye and I absolutely loved it. I will have this guy linked down below. I think that was $150, somewhere in there. And then we picked up these rear bumper spats as well. These things look super nice, and they sit on the bottom of the rear bumper, somewhere up in there. Not exactly sure if we're gonna get everything actually sprayed today with color. My main thing is just getting some primer laid down and letting it sit for a solid few hours, and then we can sand the primer. We are using 2K high build primer again. This hood scoop, I hope, turns out good this time. It's so nasty looking. I think if I sand that down quite a bit, throw some primer on it, and then sand down the primer, it should turn out all right. And the reason, you're probably wondering why I'm spraying 2 scoops. That scoop is trash right now. There's no point in keeping it around if it looks like that. So I figured while I am spraying the other parts out, I might as well make that scoop look good as well. Just in case if in the future we want to go back to the OEM scoop, we will have that option. Let's pull the scoop off real quick. We can get the car out of the shop so we don't get any overspray on it, and we can get to work. So here is a good side-by-side comparison of the height difference on the scoops. That's the stock one, and that is the 4-inch tall one. And I guess we should probably make sure this fits before we spend all this time painting it. That is gonna look so sick. STIs deserve a big hood scoop. I'm still a noob at painting for sure, so I don't know exactly what we need to do. I talked to the paint shop this morning when I picked up some more primer. They said I don't need to primer or seal these at all whatsoever. He just said spray down the adhesion promoter and I could lay the base coat right over the adhesion promoter. I know on the scoops we definitely want to primer them because there's quite a bit of scratches on that, and then all this nasty like pitting I want to get filled in on this one. On these spots though, I think I'm just going to scuff them up a little bit, get them cleaned up, and spray some base coat on them. So let's work on the scoops first. If these are the only 2 things we're primering, let's get to sanding. I'm gonna grab some 600 grit. Let's sand them down, wet 600. Try to get them all smoothed out. Get them scuffed up and prepped for some primer. All right, we got both scoops ready to go. They're all scuffed up with 600 grit and red Scotch-Brite. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and wipe them down with the Prep All Wax and Grease Remover. Wait about 30 minutes, and in the meantime, we can start mixing up our primer. This is a primer we're using, MP282 High Build 2K Surfacer. This is a high build primer, so it'll fill in all the scratches and pitting and all that random BS that we have going on. So we'll need that, some reducer, and where is it? 283. And some MH283 hardener. This is the wax and grease remover I'll be using today. Duplicolor, along with some lint free towels. Let's go ahead and get these things wiped down, mix up some primer, and spray them out. All right, the primer's all mixed up in the gun and ready to spray. It's been about 30 minutes, so these things are completely ready to go. Let's bang them out real quick. Probably gonna do 2 coats of primer, let them sit for a solid few hours, then we can come back and wet sand them. Okay, we got the first coat laid down. It's been about 10 minutes. They want you to wait 5 to 10 minutes at 70 degrees, and it's probably like 60 right now. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. As you can see, that OEM scoop still has a bit of gloss to it, and I think you want it to look a little bit more flat like that one before we go ahead and spray down the second coat. I'm so glad I finally taught myself, or learned, I guess I should say, with the help of my brother Austin, learned how to paint, because little stuff like this, other people would charge a few $100s just to spray out, and I already have all the paint here. I have all the guns now. We have leftover paint from when we did like the bumpers and hood and all that, and it's costing me like $20 to spray all this stuff out versus a few hundred, and it's fun. I enjoy it. I love learning new stuff. I got a super nice run or drool in the OEM scoop. It's all good though, just primer. I like to lay it on thick. I'd rather have it be too thick than too thin, because this stuff stands off really easy. And it just so happens that I mixed up way too much primer. We still have like up to here in the cup. So just to be safe, guys, I'm gonna spray some primer on these rear bumper spats. They're all scuffed up, ready to go. I'm gonna dry them off, throw some adhesion promoter on there, and then slap a coat or two of the primer on them. I figured it's better to be safe than sorry. I don't want to put paint on them and then notice like some scratches underneath or anything like that. So we already have the primer mixed up. It's either throw it away or put it on the spats. I'd rather just put it on the spats. The scoops are already tack free. This primer dries so freaking fast. This one doesn't have any runs in it, but this one right here, the stock one, where'd that drool go? I don't know if it's gonna show on camera, but trust me, I got a real nice run in that one. Just sprayed 2 coats of the adhesion promoter on these rear spats. Let's let that dry for, I think they said 20 minutes, and then we can go ahead and spray on the primer. We have an issue. Not exactly sure what's going on. Same concept that happened on the like side skirt apron things, but on here it is way worse. Look at all those little freaking pinholes coming through. I don't know what's causing that, but I'm not gonna spray that one out if that same thing's gonna happen. I'm kind of glad I sprayed down primer, because I feel like if I did color, just a base coat, and I messed up, we probably wouldn't have enough to do everything, because we don't have all that much base left. And I really don't want to buy any more color, because the color is the expensive part. So I'm actually really happy I ended up primering these. Yeah, let me do some research, figure out what to do. All right, so I went and picked up, well, I talked to a few different people. It sounds like that prep ball may have soaked into the plastic. So I went and picked up some of this Pour 15 cleaner degreaser industrial strength stuff from a paint shop. We're gonna mix this up. He said 12 parts of water to 1 part of this cleaner. So this stuff's gonna last forever. We're just gonna mix it up in a spray bottle, spray it down, use a new Scotch-Brite pad, go through, clean it up. If we still have that issue, I'll bring that piece in right there that we sprayed into the paint shop and have them look at it and kind of try to guide me as to what to do next. But I have a strong feeling that this is gonna take care of the issue. All right, guys, let's try again. I ended up wiping down the one we primered with some lacquer thinner, so it's all cleaned up. I went ahead and cleaned them both up really good with this Port 15 degreaser, and they've been sitting for like 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and repeat the process. I'm gonna skip the prep all this time around, so they should be completely clean. I'm just gonna go straight to the adhesion promoter, 2 coats of that, 10 minutes in between each coat, wait 20 minutes after the second coat, and then do a little test area of primer, see what happens. I'm gonna do that same exact one actually in that same exact spot, and if it doesn't start like bubbling up or separating, we should be good to go. All right, so I sprayed that little edge. If you look super closely, you can see like some tiny little ones. Maybe it's not clean all the way, I don't really know. I'm gonna go ahead and just spray the whole panel out and see what happens. All right, so this is what we ended up with, guys. I think that did the trick. Let's let these spots and the hood scoops dry for a few hours and we can sand them out. All right, it's been a few hours. Let's hit everything with 600 grit, wet, and get some color laid on here. I sure hope we have enough color. Where is it? We have like a quarter of a quart of clear. And then for color, we probably have about the same. Yeah, about a quarter quart. I hope that's enough to do these 3 or 4 pieces. All the parts are sanded down, ready to go. Let's prep the shop real quick. So same thing as last time, we're just gonna wet the floor. This time I am gonna try a little bit of Dawn dish soap on the floor as well. Hopefully that will allow the water to not evaporate so fast. Mix up some base coat, spray down the base. 3 coats of base, 3 coats of clear, just like last time. I feel like the main thing I need to work on today, after looking at the STI and how that project came out, is getting the clear on thick enough to where it's not like rough or hazy or like sandpaper feeling in a way. That's how the rear bumper is on that car. It definitely needs to go on a little bit thicker, but obviously if you put it on too thick, you're gonna have runs and drools, kind of like we did in the primer. So I'll work on that today. That's my main thing, is trying to get that dialed in, and obviously trying to keep the dirt down is always a plus. So yeah, let's get some color mixed up and spray these things out. All right, guys, it is game time. So we got everything cleaned up. We got our paint mix right over there. Our gun is right there. I'm gonna pull out a tack rag, run through, tack all the parts off real quick. Let's throw some more water on the floor as well. We got a problem. The rear spats are coming out absolutely amazing. We went to spray this big hood scoop, the aftermarket one, and it looks like we have fingerprints on the scoop. There was probably some oil on the gloves and I accidentally touched the scoop or something. So I don't know how long we need to wait before we sand that out. Or probably just scuff up the whole scoop and respray it real quick. Not a huge deal, kind of sucks, a little step back. And then I decided just to go ahead and re-clean our factory scoop so we don't have to spray that 3 total times. We just cleaned it, so we're gonna wait about 30 minutes before we spray color on there. We already have 2 coats on here, 1 more coat on there, we should be good to go. In between base and clear, you want to wait at least an hour. So that should give us enough time to at least get that scoop sprayed out. That one may have to wait until tomorrow to be painted. Not exactly sure. I'm trying to figure out an answer on that right now. But yeah, coming along nice, except for that scoop. All right, so I waited a bit. I did a quick little wet sand with 600 on that area that was messed up. I don't know if I need to sand the whole thing or not. Once again, this is trial and error for me. I have no clue what I'm doing in this situation. If that doesn't look good, then we can wait like a full day, sand the whole hood scoop down, and just start from scratch. Let's give her a quick cleaning, slap some color on it, and see how it looks. So we just sprayed on the first coat of base and it looks fine. You cannot tell at all where those issues were. So I'm gonna do 2 more coats on that, and if it looks fine throughout all coats, we should be good to go for clear. That scoop is ready for clear. The rear spot's ready for clear. We just gotta get 2 more coats on that. Just got the last coat on that 4-inch hood scoop. We're gonna give it about an hour and then we can come back and slap down some clear coat. All right, I am much happier with how everything turned out this time around. There's a few tiny little dirt specks. Obviously, there's gonna be a little bit, but it is so much flatter than the last parts I sprayed. It looks absolutely incredible. These rear spots were really hard to spray. It's kind of awkward trying to hold it and spray it at the same time. So if I ever do something like that again, I'm definitely gonna have to change up how I am doing it. Needless to say, I am freaking pumped with how these parts turned out. I'm gonna let them sit overnight, and then in tomorrow's video, I'll kind of show you guys how good they actually look out in the sun, if provided it actually is sunny tomorrow. Check out the weather right now. Cleaned all the cars up nice and beautifully yesterday, absolutely spotless, and now they're just getting soaked. Yeah, guys, I know all we did today was paint, but it was a really fun day for me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you want to see how they look out in the sun, tune in tomorrow. Peace out. I'll see you guys then.